Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Digital Painting with me. Today we're going to be transforming this into this. And how do we do that? With references. So I always take my references from Pinterest. I put it in a board, and usually the references in Pinterest are very good. There's many different pictures and styles that you can choose from. The first stage is sketching, so sometimes you can just directly trace from the picture that you have, or you can add a perspective grid if you are keen on adding other stuff later on, like furniture. After doing a quick sketch, I like to do color blocking. So when I color block, I always add a medium tone, because in the next stage you will do highlights and shadows. So after you add a medium tone, using darker hues of what you add and lighter hues of what you've added, you can play around with texture brushes. You might be wondering why I'm using a different color scheme compared to the reference photo. It's because I have a color palette on the side, on my right side. So if you're looking to challenge yourself, sometimes you can use a different color palette, which you can also source from Pinterest, or you can just directly follow the image reference. So at this point, when you're happy with everything, you can start to add your own little touches. So instead of doing the mirror, I actually wanted to do just a simple photograph. And after that, I wanted to add a different foreground as well. So this is where you start to explore different details that you want to add. When you add details, try to think about how it can add to your storyline. Like for example, I wanted it to have a character in the center, so I made sure the details surrounding the character would add more depth to this, to her background. So the right side started to look a bit empty, so I decided to change it and add a bookshelf instead. You can also pull up a reference if you need to. However, if you have a perspective grid that you drew beforehand, you can just directly refer to that in order to get your perspective right. So it's this stage where you start adding a lot of details to just add more depth to your character and the background and everything overall. Sometimes I prefer to do these details very roughly so that my audience will focus on the character instead of the details. After adding this Gengar plushie, I decided that I actually wanted to add more because it looked very cute, so I just duplicated it using Photoshop and adjusted it with the perspective transform. So right now it's where we add in the character. Sometimes I like to trace over it because I'm not really that skilled in doing characters, and after tracing over, I'll add on a little touch to it. After you're done adding everything that you want, it's time to play around with the special effects. So I like to add little dots, use Gaussian blur to blur it, and even play around with the Photoshop blending modes. Once you're happy with your drawing, you can save it, export it, and post it on Instagram. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and see you in my next video.